All right, this is the most common checkmate that you will encounter in an endgame. Why is that? Because see, most of the games would usually end up with one of the sides being one pawn up, at least one pawn up. And the way you end the game is to make that pawn into a queen, which means you typically end up with a position where you at least have a queen and a king. And it's extremely important to learn how to win this particular checkmate without running the risk of doing what we call as a stalemate. So how do you go about doing this? In this position, for example, your first step is always to cut it off. Cut off the entire king's board. Now, since the king is coming closer to you, you could move it into what I call as the knight's position. See, this is the knight's position because the queen and king are exactly like the way the knight is. See, chess is all about patterns. You got to recognize these patterns. So move the queen and capture the knight's position. Now, all you need to do is follow the king. So king moves one step left, you move one step left. He moves one step left, you move one step left. Right? And now he moves diagonal right, you move diagonal right. And he moves one step left, you move one step left. He moves diagonal right, you move diagonal right. You keep following him all the way except when he goes to the corner. When he goes to the corner, you gotta build a jail here where the only two squares left for the king are these two. That's the queen's prison. You imprison the king, you just suffocate him by putting the queen on that beautiful square d7. As in, if you think about it, it's like if the king is in the corner, this is the knight's position, this is one to the right of it. So identify that pattern and place it there, because if you were to follow him, that's a stalemate. That's a draw, and we do not want a draw, because given that you have the queen, you should definitely win it. So now that you have trapped him, and you know that he's in a jail basically, and the only two squares is these two, all you need to do is start bringing the king in. So as soon as he makes his move, bring your king in, get your king as close as possible, and bring him into what we call as the face-off position, right opposite the opponent king. And now, do you remember the pattern called hug of death? That's exactly what you need to do, and that's game over. So okay, there are three steps to it. Bring the queen to the knight's position, follow the king, and then once he's in the corner, hug of death. Once he's in the corner, you create the jail and then bring your king, hug of death. Okay, that's as simple as it is. That's the most common checkmate, and you should be able to do it. Okay, now what I want you to do is, now that you have learned three different types of checkmates, I would like you to go and apply this, or if you've already played a game or seen this particular thing, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 about how confident you are in terms of completing these checkmate patterns. Okay, I would like to know how well you are able to apply this. This would be really, really helpful for everybody doing the course as well as for me. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. And by the way, do not forget to leave your comments.